Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever this video should find you. As I make it, it is evening here on the Coast of the state of Florida. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. I have 20 years experience as a full-time Protestant minister with three of the largest Protestant organizations in the world. I have a Bible college degree, and I've spent over 100,000 hours studying the biblical text. And I'm here this evening to tell you and to assure you, without the slightest shadow of a doubt, that President Trump's decision regarding the city of Jerusalem has absolutely, positively nothing to do with biblical prophecy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. President Trump's decision relative to recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and moving this nation's embassy to that city has absolutely nothing to do with biblical prophecy. The fact of the matter, ladies and gentlemen, that as far as biblical prophecy goes, the idea that there's anything beyond AD 70 and the destruction of Jerusalem is an invention, it is an aberration, and it is indeed gross error. The biblical fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, that the historical belief has always been the teaching, belief, and practice of the Christian church. This was underlined by the Protestant Reformation when Martin Luther nailed his theses to the door of Wittenberg Church in 1517. In fact, one of the great themes of the Protestant Reformation was end-time prophecy. And the keynote of that whole idea was that the Pope was the Antichrist and that the Roman Catholic system was the system of Antichrist. It was taught all the way till the 1500s. It was underlined and emphasized by the Protestant reformers. I'm reading from my book, September 23, Revelation 12 sign. I'll link it in the box below. And it wasn't until the rise of this gentleman, Ignatius of Loyola, you know him as the founder of the Jesuit order. It wasn't until he arose in the late 1500s and appointed this man, Father Francisco Ribera, to start the Counter-Reformation movement. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Counter-Reformation movement. And Ribera penned a book that introduced the idea that there was any future prophecy past AD 70 to be fulfilled. And they introduced this idea to get the Catholic Church off the hook. They introduced this idea to make the Antichrist a single boogeyman in the future, not the embodiment of Roman Catholicism in the past. They introduced this idea to relieve the church of the accusation and belief of embodying the Antichrist system. And it wasn't until Ribera wrote this book in the late 1500s that anyone had ever thought about, anyone had ever considered, anyone had ever dreamed about any prophecy extending beyond the destruction of Jerusalem in AD 70. This book was called The Sacred Writings of John the Apostle and the commentary on the book of Revelation. It was the beginning of any idea that any biblical prophecy extended past AD 70. The historical position of the church is called the historicist position. It means that all biblical prophecy is history, not future. And the futurist interpretation that there'll be a future Antichrist, that there'll be a future tribulation, that there will be future events having to do with Jerusalem and the temple. The idea comes straight from the pen of Jesuit scholars, and there's not even one suggestion from true biblical scholars and from the historical position of the church that this idea of future biblical prophecy has anything at all to do with anything that is truly biblical. So, ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is this: all biblical prophecy is history, none of its future. And Donald Trump's decision regarding the city of Jerusalem has nothing to do with biblical prophecy, and it's just another fear and worry strategy to have you run home to Rome and her wayward Protestant daughters. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, and that is the truth about Donald Trump, President Trump's decision on the city of Jerusalem. I'm here to help you guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru. And these little talks are designed to help you unindoctrinate yourself.